Okay.
Quinn, how close was that to the game that you guys wanted to play in tonight's contest?
You know, I think when you play a team like Houston, you know, you have to continue to try to get better throughout the series. I thought we were better tonight, obviously, particularly defensively. We didn't capitalize as much as we needed to, whether it be from the foul line or during a stretch there in the third quarter where I thought we could have a chance to build a little bit of a lead. But, you know, they made plays at the end of the game. And like I said, I think just, you know, we got some looks that, you know, we've got to take. And, you know, they didn't fall. But I thought we really competed and did a lot of the things that we set out to do.
Coach, in that third quarter, you left some points on the board. How much did that affect, you know, what happened down the stretch?
I'm sorry, points?
You left some points on the board. You missed 8 free throws. How much did that affect down the stretch trying to close that game?
I mean, it obviously, if you have a lead, particularly against a team like Houston, when, you know, regardless of how you play during the game, you know that at the end of the game, you know, that's James Harden. He's that good at the end, and you give yourself a very small margin. But, you know, that said, you know, I thought we laid it out there, and I was, you know, proud of how we played and how we competed. We didn't get a win tonight to reflect that.
Coach, what did you think of the defensive effort on Harden for the first 3 quarters? You know, the way you guys played him. You think it was defense or just him struggling a little bit as well?
You know, you're always going to have some good fortune when you're playing him, because if you're trying to keep him off the foul line, which, you know, he got some free throws, but I thought for the most part we were pretty disciplined in not fouling him on the 3-point shots. But, you know, he certainly didn't have the kind of night that he had the previous 2 games. But, you know, I thought we got better with what we were doing. You know, we just had more activity. You're gonna give something up, and the best thing you can do with him is just try to make it hard on him. And even when you do that, there's times when you know, he's gonna make plays, and, you know, that's where, you know, offensively, you know, we didn't have as good a night as we needed to have to win the game.
Quinn, Donovan started off shooting 5 for 7, and then after that made only 4 of 20. Did the Rockets change anything on him? Did he just start missing shots that he had been making before? What happened with him down the stretch?
Well, you know, there's a point when, you know, you're working and they're guarding you, and, you know, there's an element of fatigue that sets in when the ball's not going in. And, you know, I thought there were times when he did go to the rim, and that was good. He got to the line. You know, we just didn't have enough shots fall, and we need to come out next game and do the same thing defensively and take a look at the film and see how we can get better on the offensive end and, you know, get some more production.
Coach, what was the difference you saw from Rudy Gobert that allowed him to be so effective defensively?
Well, I think, you know, there was Rudy, this series and the Rockets put Rudy in unfamiliar situations because it's, you know, I don't know, you can look at the numbers, but there's just not a lot of pick and roll. And as a result, I think he's put in a situation where if he's going to contest shots and protect the rim, oftentimes he has to help up to do that. And then you're giving stuff, you know, up behind you. And that's where his teammates have to be, you know, be there. And I thought we did a better job of that tonight, and then scrambling out of it. But some of it for Rudy is just a comfort level with what this game, you know, and this matchup requires. So, you know, I think he'll be better the next game as well.
Coach, you had a different starting lineup tonight, and you kind of switched up some rotations out there. Just generally, were you kind of happy with how that went?
Yeah, you know, I think that's the challenge of the playoffs, that there's always things that you want to try to do, even if you win, to try to be more effective. We tried to put a few guys out there that we felt like were in a position to make some shots, you know, and just collectively defend together. And then, you know, you're trying to gauge gauge the game and how people are playing. Both teams got in some early foul trouble, which often, that affects rotations and whatnot too. But I thought everybody that we put out there really, no matter how long they were out there, competed.
Quinn, the phrase is make or miss league, and it's a couple games in a row now where there have been a lot more misses than makes. How do you react to that as a coach, both in game and then when you're talking to your team afterwards?
Well, I think myself and our staff and our players need to react the same way. We need to keep trying to generate good looks and keep taking shots that we feel are good shots. I think the foul line had an impact on us during that one stretch in the third quarter. That's something that kind of bear down on and hopefully be more effective from the line. But there were also some opportunities where we did get some stops and we came away empty. There were some momentum plays where we weren't able to convert, and that's a situation where some high percentage opportunities that we need to take advantage of, particularly if you're not making jumpers. Okay.